Hi, my name is Marika Sardar and I'm a curator at the Aga Khan Museum. Today I'd like to introduce you to one of the manuscripts in our collection. It might not look like much. It's got a very simple binding, the calligraphy inside is not great, and there are no paintings to speak of, but the contents are fascinating indeed. When you open those rather unassuming red covers, what you find inside are two separate texts that have been copied out, probably at different times, and then put together in this same binding. The first text in the manuscript, the opening page of which you see on the right, is called the Book of Geography. The first few pages of this manuscript were apparently lost at some point, so what you are looking at is a replacement folio. The second text in the manuscript are the stories of the 101 Nights told by Scheherazade. You can see the first page of this text with the title in red on the left. We have all of the pages of the geography book, which includes a note at the end that this particular copy was made by Abdullah ibn Abd al-Mawla, al-Nujum, in the year 1235. However, the end of the 101 Nights text is missing. It stops at the story of the 85th night, and we don't have any helpful notes about when and where it was copied out. At first glance, it wouldn't seem that these two were written at the same time, and the subjects don't go together very naturally. So it remains a mystery why they are here together in this volume in the museum's collection. Fascinatingly, however, they are both the earliest known copies of their respective texts, and more research will be done into their provenance. But today I wanted to focus on the Book of Geography, an interesting specimen given the particular moment we are in now. On the one hand, we have incredible resources to learn about other parts of our globe. Unlike the author of the text, whose name is al-Zuhri, and who was a scholar living in Spain in the 12th century, we have tools like Google Earth that any of us sitting at our desks can use to see the location of the city, to trace the outline of a coast, or even drop into a street anywhere in the world. But at the same time, at this particular moment, we are unable to travel anywhere, and like al-Zuhri sitting in Spain can only imagine what it's like to actually be in far-flung corners of the globe. So what are the contents of this manuscript? As I mentioned, it was written by someone named al-Zuhri, who lived sometime in the mid-1100s. We don't actually know much about him, but references in his texts to things that happened in the years 1137 and 1154 give us a general range for his life dates. His own text was based on the description of the Earth's people, places, and wonders that was written to accompany a map of the world commissioned by the Abbasid Caliph al-Ma'mun, who ruled from 813 until 833 in Baghdad. This caliph gathered a group of 70 astronomers to test the contents of several treatises by Ptolemy, the famous Greek mathematician and astronomer who had lived some 700 years earlier. Based on these tests, al-Ma'mun's scientists created a new set of astronomical tables and a world map that geographers referred to for hundreds of years afterwards. This impressive map included the location of 530 cities, 5 seas, 290 rivers, and 200 mountains. The map is now lost, and this copy of al-Zuhri's text does not include any maps or charts either, but scholars have reconstructed the world as they saw it in al-Zuhri's time, as a globe with an equator and divided into 7 equal parallel sections. Typically in Arabic language geographical texts, these sections or climes extended from east to west, as in the diagram on the left, but al-Zuhri defined these sections as running north to south, perpendicular to the equator, as on the right. But as I mentioned, no charts or maps appear in this copy of al-Zuhri's text. Instead, we have page after page of descriptions of the geographical features of different lands, their natural resources, their systems of measurement, of money, their ethnicities, their religions, and so on. These comments are copied out in black ink with headings in red to indicate new sections, in a style of writing usually associated with Spain or North Africa. Although parts of the text come straight from the 9th century sources he was using, al-Zuhri adds many observations of its own, and it's his comments that he saw particular things or asked people to clarify certain points that lead us to believe that he was from Spain, because all of these references are to towns or to people in Spain. It's been suggested that he was based either in Granada or Almeria, both cities that at the time would have been under Muslim rule, and which is why al-Zuhri produced this manuscript in Arabic, looking back at important earlier Arabic sources. His work remained in use for several centuries afterwards, and was copied many, many times after. This example in the Aga Khan Museum, however, is the earliest surviving copy, and it's dated to 1235, as mentioned here on the last page of text shown on the right. After this date, the manuscript had rather a hard life. Several pages at the beginning were lost, there was damage from water, and many later users added their commentaries and notes, as seen in the pages on the left. It's all of this that makes me excited about this particular manuscript, humble as it is. This connection to all of these people over time who have also pored over the text as I have done these last few days, and who are endlessly interested in, much like me, what our fellow humans are up to around the world.